Hi everybody, it's your boy, Dash. So 50% of you decided that you wanted to do a time lapse, 50% of you wanted me to explain my process. So I'm gonna do both. So I have one camera recording my process, I have another camera recording the time lapse. So we're gonna have some fun with this. And we're also testing out some of my new equipment like this wireless mic that I just bought. So to start off, the first thing we wanna do is to prepare our surface area. Now I've got these old newspapers that come in the mail. I don't know about you, I do all my shopping online, so I don't need any of this. So this is all garbage, but rather than throw it away, I'm repurposing it as a drop cloth for my paintings. I've got a nice little backdrop here, which serves two purposes. Purpose number one is to keep stuff in the background from getting painted. Purpose number two is, I don't know if you've seen it here, but I've already tested some of my colors out and how they're gonna fall on top of each other. I had a close look at that there. Always good to test out your colors and your sprays. Just make sure your cans are working. Make sure the colors are all the colors that you want before you spray it on the actual product. When I first decided to do this pineapple project, I said to myself, I want it to be 360 all the way around. So I created this little Lazy Susan. I don't know if I want to call it a Lazy Susan. I feel that's insulting to all the women named Susan out there. But that's what this is. It's just a ball bearing on top of some foam core that I used to create this circling thing. So let's get right to it. Now, this month's theme is actually going to be biohazard, inspired by the current virus that's going on right now. But biohazard is the theme. So you're kind of going to see my work in progress here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a nice dark color for... there's no need to prime it. There's no need to prime it because the pineapple is already white and it's ceramic, so it's pretty much already primed. I'm gonna shake this up a little bit. I already know what the color green is gonna look like here. And we're just gonna liberally spray it and turn it as we go. There we go. Very nice. Just get a nice coat of green on there. Beautiful. Make sure we get the top. No empty, dead, or white spaces. Here's something that most people forget. Just like a canvas, you want to paint all the way around. You don't want to leave that white edge. So I want to make sure to get underneath the bottom there, just so that there's no little white edge around the bottom of the pineapple. Now, this is a gloss. This is a gloss paint. I usually like mixing the different textures in my paints. I'll mix a gloss with a matte just to get a different texture on my pineapples. Now this part I might cut out, but this is a blow dryer. Some people use fire, some people just like to leave it and sit outside. I don't have patience. So I'm gonna set my blow dryer on low and I'm just gonna lightly spin the pineapple. One of the things that I learned from doing just this project is that this is a tool right here. You can actually use this to get different textures out of your design. See, from back here, all I'm doing is drying the paint so I can get the next layer on. But if I come in closer, and you'll see it later when I do the lighter shade of green, if I come in closer, what it's gonna do is it's gonna spread the paint because the paint is still wet. So little droplets are gonna move across the pineapple. Now it is gloss, but just from looking at it, and this is something you just gain with experience the more you work with this stuff, as just from looking at it, I can already tell it's pretty good and dry. Another thing that this drying method does is it quickly exposes any spots you didn't get. So you'll be able to see any significant missed spots after you've been drying them for a little bit. I want to make sure I get those. I know there was one at the bottom that I saw. There it is right there. Okay, cool. All right, so this is the base color I chose, and I'm sure you can see it from there. I've got all my colors already selected and set to the side. I have a box of something like 30 or 40 different paint can colors and different textures that I can play with. But for biohazard, since I knew I was going with a mostly green and black motif, I've already set my colors aside. A lot of times I won't really know where I'm headed with it. I'll just know sort of an idea, and I'll keep the box of colors out here and then just kind of go where it inspires me. Now, part of my individual style when it comes to painting is I love chaos. I love the idea of chaos. That's why I love improv. I love professional wrestling, because there is an element of chaos to all that. Part of my artwork is inspired by chaos. That's a very big theme in my life. I love the idea of starting at one point and then letting chaos just kind of take over and go from there. So that inspires a lot of my work here. And while, yes, there is some pre-planning and I've picked the colors and I've picked the theme, there is still a very big element of chaos, and that I don't know. I'm just going to let the paint do what the paint does, and then we'll figure it out from there. So we're going to go here. We already have our deep green, and now I'm feeling like we should do the black side. I want to do the black side of this. So here we go. So now the black side, in my head I have an idea, but again, let's see what the paint does. So I'm just going to do one side of this with the black. Cool. All right, that looks good. See, I like this sort of half and half thing it's doing up here, because the cone is angled. So I'm only getting that side of the crown of the pineapple, but I'm getting all of this side of the body of the pineapple. And I like this sort of half and half thing. Now, remember what I said about the dryer? It's a tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it closer this time when I dry this black. And this is a flat black, which means it's not going to shine like the green that's underneath it. So we're just going to go ahead here and I'm going to turn it on, but I'm going to come closer this time and you'll watch as it spreads some of the paint off into the green as I'm drying it. Let's turn it up a little bit higher just to really get that going. There we go. Yeah, that's what I like. And there goes the backdrop. That's expected. It's gonna happen. Very nice. Yeah, I like this. I like what this is doing right now. All right, so you guys probably can't see it from there on the camera, but what this is doing is, as I'm spreading the dryer, it's taking some of the droplets of wet black paint from here and just kind of dispersing it along, and the ridges on the pineapple really make a nice catching point for those, so you get this sort of nice fade effect as opposed to a solid straight line. So that's a really cool effect you get on this. And as you see, we have this just beautiful sort of green to black coloring here. I love flat paint because when paint is wet, it's shiny. But flat paint, as soon as it dries, it's not shiny anymore. And that's how you know that your flat paint have dried. So I can see there's still a couple of wet spots and a couple of dry spots. And I like that because I like to see how the different paint textures move with each other. So here we go. Now this is the coup de grace of the Biohazard painting. This is a gloss key lime color. Now this is what's going to add that nice pop to this Biohazard painting. It's going to be, I want it to be almost like a slime, if you will. I want it to just be like really out there. So what I'm going to do is, instead of just doing straight strokes, this is where the chaos of it comes through. I'm just going to slapdash all over this. Let's bring our backdrop back up, and nice. I like it. It's actually doing this wonderful. See, paint does what paint's going to do. And this can, I guess it's sort of clogged a little bit, but what it's doing is it's spraying all these little droplets around it, and I love that. So I'm going to use that instead of what I was initially planning on doing. Oh, man. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yes. Okay, I love this. This is just fantastic. Oh my God. Okay, you guys are discovering this along with me. This is amazing. Yes, I love this. Okay, okay. I like this. I like what it's doing. I'm just gonna... Oh, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm not even gonna do anything else to it. I feel like, see, the paint and the pineapple has told me what to paint. I didn't do that myself. This is chaos. This is chaos. of every second of this. I'm gonna make sure my time lapse is still recording. Sometimes I get calls and it stops. Nope, we're still good. All right, I'm gonna dry this. But see this, so I like these little droplets that it's doing right there, and I don't want those to spread around with the dryer. So instead of doing it from close, I'm gonna dry it from back here on a very low setting so that the droplets don't spread, but I'm still sending air across it to get it dry. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm using this wireless mic for the first time. So I didn't know if it's going to be working or not. Maybe, you know, if I have to cut this out, I'll cut this out and just do music. But I love the way this pineapple has come out. Man. Oh, this is beautiful. See that? That accidental nozzle spray right there has made this so much more interesting than I initially intended it to look like. So cool. Oh, very nice. Beautiful. All right, so here's the coup de grace. Did I already say coup de grace? I may have already said coup de grace. This is the little extra in this project. I bought some glow in the dark paint. That's right. I wanted this to be biohazard, and if it's biohazard, it's got to be radioactive. It has to glow some way, shape, or form. The reason I chose these colors, you have the light green, the darker green, and you have the black, is because the way this works is on the lighter surfaces, it'll glow more than on the darker surfaces. So the darker surfaces will actually keep it from glowing. So this is gonna look really cool when it's nighttime. Hopefully, I don't know. This, for all I know, this may be garbage. But I did test it out here, and it is clear, so this will not affect the overall colors that I've chosen for the pineapple. So here goes nothing. Just gonna do a light glossing of glow in the dark stuff. Here we go. Make sure we get some nice coverage. Make sure we get down below. Remember what I said earlier? No edges. Want to make sure we do that with the glow paint also. I did read the reviews on Amazon for this, and a couple of people did say you needed definitely more than one coat for this. So because I am a professional, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. So I will be providing 3 coats of the glow paint just to make sure it glows adequately. But this pineapple is looking fantastic, and it looks almost done. Man, I'm telling you, I'm really happy with the way this came out. I would almost say this isn't even me. Like, I would display this as Dash's art, but it really wasn't me. The pineapple and the paint are the ones that instructed me what direction it wanted to go in, and that's the direction we went in. Gonna go for the second coat of the glow paint. There we go. Something really important I didn't cover already. I have 2 fans over here because it is hot as blazes out here. So the wind is blowing in this direction. You want to make sure when you're spraying paint, you want to go with the wind. Otherwise, if you spray paint this way, it's just all going to shoot back in your face. So always adjust for the wind when you're using spray paint. That's very important. I started doing these kind of paintings and art projects sometime in 2000 and I want to say 12 or 13. I went to an art gallery exhibition with some very good friends of mine at the time, and it was art exhibition by Registered Artist, who is a local Miami artist, and his work, he does a lot of like stencil and graffiti work. His work just really inspired me to get back into art. I used to always love arts and crafts and all those sorts of things, and painting and drawing and sketching. I am a graphic design artist by trade, so I still do art, but mostly on a computer. This sort of hands-on stuff is not really what I do anymore. But after seeing registered artist's work, I got inspired to get into it again and started doing a lot more stencil work, stencil paintings, things of that nature. And then eventually I wanted to do something very cool. I joined a group called Miami Free Art Fridays, and what they do in Free Art Fridays is that local artists from all around Miami, or at least used to, it's not as prevalent as it used to be, local artists from all around Miami will paint and create crafts and then drop them off in areas all around Miami for people to find randomly. And I thought that was so freaking cool that I could make something and drop it off somewhere, and a random person would find it, pick it up, and take it to their home and give it a good home. I thought that was so freaking cool. So I took part in it. I dropped a few pieces of work. There's a few pieces of my art hanging in people's places right now. Once the Miami Free Art Friday thing kind of fizzled out, I wasn't really doing that anymore. And I kind of wanted to bring that spirit back. So I got a $20 gift card from a place called Oriental Trading. I bought these ceramic pineapples. I bought a dozen of them. I said, okay, cool. There's 12 pineapples. There's 12 months in a year. I am going to paint those 12 pineapples once a month, drop them off at random locations in Miami, and just let somebody find them. Each one of them will be individually numbered and individually signed, and they will be collector's items. Hopefully one day I will be rich and famous. Although, let's be honest, are any artists really rich when they're still alive? Probably not. So, you know, hey man, it's art. Art should be in everybody's house, and I'd love that I'm taking part in doing that. So that's part of my thing. I love this. I love the way this came out. The shiny bits are shiny. The non-shiny bits are non-shiny. It looks like that glow covering is on there really nice. I guess we'll find out when it gets dark later. And last but not least, this is sort of like the creme flambe. I don't know, what the hell do you call that? The flaming cream thing that they give for dessert. Whatever. I'm trying to do all the French stuff. I don't know the French stuff. This is a clear acrylic sealer, and this is just going to close everything in so that this becomes basically, you know, waterproof, UV proof. You know, the paint won't just scratch off. So we're just going to give it a nice coat. Oh, this smells horrendous. You guys cannot smell that where you are. But this was like, I don't know if you can imagine a dump truck full of acetone, old peanut butter, and moldy bread with a hint of lime. That's what this smells like. Oh yeah. Oh, that smells fantastic. Wow. I cannot. What is? They should put a warning on this if it's gonna smell that freaking bad. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the pineapple. Isn't it a beaut? Lovely. This is my biohazard pineapple theme for the month of May. Lovely. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this process video. If you did enjoy it and you want me to do more process videos, or you're like, hey Dash, shut the hell up, we just want to see the time lapse of what you were doing, please tell me in the comments, and I will do whatever you tell me to, because I love to please the audience. So once again, thank you everybody for joining me. This has been the May Pineapple Project with Dash Maverick. You can see all my other works at dashmaverick.com. I also do improv, and I suggest that you go check out societycircusplayers.com or find Society Circus on any of your favorite social media sites, except, you know, TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter, because, you know, whatever. But find Society Circus Players. We post a lot of fun videos, we do a lot of fun stuff, and we do games. So thank you for checking this out. I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.